And then all these things came up on my feed that there's something going on in the United States that I had to sign up for before December 31st. And you sign this thing, and unfortunately I did it, which is really stupid because I was like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
And now they're sending me, they promised that they wouldn't send my file to the IRS, or I don't know. There's a lot of legalese and they made me sign it. And I'm so sorry that I did that now that I'm on this bend. I'm like,
Hmm.
what was it called? I forget. I should, I should ask you because I mean, I'm kind of freaked out that I did it, and now I'm just deleting all the emails they're sending me because they're saying, you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to do it by April 15th and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Oh,
So, and then, oh, the other thing is, I think I told you I moved and there's no bank outlet in this town from the bank that
okay.
I moved to. So I went into a bank yesterday and I asked them if I could open a bank. It's a community bank. So it's not a credit union. It's a community bank. And it was formed by
Oh,
local businesses and they were all warm and fuzzy. And I said, well, do I need to give you my social security number? And he said, and she looked at me like, of course you do. That's the know your customer thing and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay. And then I went to I think I'm just going to have to give my social security number, but I need a bank. I can't,
yeah.
especially if I want to get cash out to buy silver, gold. That's the thing
Yeah.
I want to do. But I couldn't do that on Wise, right? How would you get?
Right.
You need real people.
Yep.
So, whatever. Is it a terrible thing if the government knows that I'm buying gold? I don't know.
You know, I hang on a second. I have, I've like every piece of gold and silver that I have has been off the books. So there is an attraction to having that type of privacy.
Yeah.
At the same time, it can be advantageous to utilize another aspect of the law that comes to your aid in this kind of situation.
Ah,
And that is where, if you are purchasing gold or silver, any precious metal from, say, a bank directly, that is a physical asset. And you can pass that on to any entity anytime you want.
ah,
That's your right. In fact, in the United States, there's actually a law that I can't remember how it goes, but I was taught this by a real estate investor, where the law is that if you have it in your hand, you are the current owner. And so what you can do is that you can go to somebody who you trust, give them the gold, have it in their hand, and you can say, "Nope, I don't own that gold."
and then they give it to you and it's a gift?
Sure. Or you don't have to talk about it at all ever again.
Meaning, but you just say, I gave my gold to somebody? Or what I
Oh,
don't understand.
yeah, you just tell them I gave it to somebody. I don't have it anymore.
Oh,
Because it was the person that got the gold, right? And so then you can say, well, that person no longer has the gold because it was given away. But the woman could be the one that the person gave it to, because the woman is not the person.
when you're talking about a person with a social security number, are you saying?
That's right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
I know. It's simple, but that's the thing, right? Is that what happens is that a lot of people do this and then they go and make a mistake where the government finds out, and because there's only one of us that does it, we get squashed. However, this is why blockchain for me is such a big thing, because now it's like you can't no one can actually say anything about my wealth because it's so far outside their system. It's you go ahead, take my life, you'll get nowhere because you still won't have access.
Mm.
It's that secure. And so now when there are assets being changed around, I can treat it the same way as you with your physical gold.
Mm.
Right? That's the parallel.
And it's obvious, I mean, I'm sure it's on that 108-page document that I transferred a bunch of stuff to my Treasure wallet. That would be
Yeah.
on there, right?
If you sent it from Coinbase to a
Yeah,
Trezor wallet, yeah, they would say that, yeah.
yeah. So they have
Yeah,
a
but
record of it.
so because what you can do is you can take the Trezor wallet and send it to someone else.
Ah,
And that someone else, I mean, that wallet address over there, there's no identifiable information on that.
so you would actually physically give the wallet to somebody, or you'd send the key, the private key to somebody?
Yeah, you could even just put the key in an envelope,
Ah,
lick it and seal it, and hand the envelope offer to someone.
ah.
Yeah. Yep. It's that simple.
Well, okay. We'll see how it all, how it all pours down.
And you just ask help whenever you want. You were saying that you bought some ADA?
Yeah.
Well, let's analyze that chart and see what we can expect over the next little while.
So I'm the only person today.
Right now, yeah.
All
Someone
right.
else might come in when we get closer to the end.
I bought, let's see, $100, but I already had 400, so I have $500 of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's been going down. I noticed.
Yeah, well, overall it has been going up, but yes, it's been right now consolidating over the last little while. When did you buy?
Yesterday,
Yesterday. So that would have been that's the 13th.
Thursday, the 313.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be up from then at that point. Let me just double check here. Yeah. Yeah, Cardano US dollar yesterday approximately what time? Cuz you're up quite a bit actually.
So are
What is
you
it?
buying and selling Cardano, or is you just holding on to that?
I am doing buying and selling on it, but I'm also holding as well. I've got most of what I have is held in Cardano, and then the next amount, like the next little bit that I use at $1,000, I use to trade back and forth. So
Ah,
I'm trying to capture profit in these small areas.
ah,
Yeah, like this is only a 5 day period of time, right?
uh-huh.
So that 5 days, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting because I want to get a confirmation of a reversal. And I'm thinking we're here at a reversal only because the pattern that we've been seeing is this wedge, and it's a rising pennant is actually what the formation that it is, and it's where the highs stayed fairly constant here, and then the lows they were getting higher. So whenever this happens in the market, it's a buildup of energy.
Mm.
But what we can expect is that before it just, drops out or goes above, it'll likely do something like this, where it just keeps on going down to a point.
Mm.
And that's because this line here provides some resistance, and this line here provides some support for the price.
Huh.
And it's for whatever reason, if it's a visual effect that people have or whatever it is, honestly, all of this price action is all emotional. So it's probably just that, people just think, oh, look at that, it's going along the line. And so then the market moves along that line, and we'll probably see it come up and butt up against this before it comes down to here. So I would say if you just bought, you might put a limit sell order for this high up here.
And what is that high?
That's $1.13.
Oh,
Yeah. And in that space, so if you just got it yesterday, it's probably somewhere in here. So in that space, you'll have actually profited 58%.
oh,
Yeah, and that's just the high from when was this? This was back from November. November is when this high got formed, and we got a long ways to go. Like a long ways to go. So in that short period of time, you could make a little bit and then sell it, right? So that'd be a limit sell. And then as the price comes back down to test this, you could buy again and make the money again.
huh. All right. But that's,
So that's what,
and I don't even need to keep track of it or anything if I have a limit sell order on it.
if it's a limit sell, then when that price reaches, then your exchange will execute that order on your behalf.
And you're saying that it basically goes up to $1.13 every time it goes to the highest point? Or would you make it?
It's not every time, but this is what we see when we see this kind of wedge pattern forming.
Huh.
This is what we usually see, and we can see it happen in other areas as well. For instance, that only takes me back 5,000 bars, so I gotta go on a daily chart here. Okay. Oh, and this doesn't really go back that far. But these wedge patterns, they can occur. This one here doesn't actually have it a whole lot of times, does it? There's a little bit one here. Let's just zoom in here. So it's like this again, where it's got this, there's a drop right here. So there's this line, and it just gets hit over and over and over again. And then there's this line where it gets higher and higher and higher. Now again, generally speaking, right, if I wanted to get really technical, I'd line them all up and all the rest. But I'm seeing general shape of the price action gives us this rising wedge. And then eventually that energy builds up and it breaks out. So that's the formation. And I don't really see anything else that sticks out right now. I'm sure if I zoomed in and got into here, I probably would find one if I zoomed in like on a smaller time frame. But that's all there is right now. Oh, man. So right now, this rising wedge is probably indicative of, since around this time when this is shortly after the inauguration, where it dipped down, but it didn't stay down at all. In fact, the price action, it opened right here. This is the, it keeps on going that way. There we go. So it opened where that little bridge is, right? Going from bar to bar, and then it goes all the way down. And then this is all within one day. And then it goes all the way back up. The amount, it goes down 35% in a day. And then it proceeds to go back up again. And this bar is pretty significant because even though it went down so far, bearish, the bulls took the market back and it closed higher than the day started. So that just means the bears really beat out the bears. They inched out, but they beat it pretty good. And that is indicative of a reversal. Well, we were in a downtrend before that.
Ah,
And so that reversal, I believe, has begun.
ah. All right. Well, maybe I'll try that on my. I was trying to open my Kraken thing, but I can't seem to do it right this second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no worries. You got time. It's probably, if it were to occur, it probably would happen over a period of 4 or 5 days, maybe a
Uh-huh.
week. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about optimism?
Let's go check it out. Optimism on the daily chart right now, major downward trend at the moment. So it might have been an untimely buy if it was if it was yesterday, you're up. It's closing pretty high today. I'm going to zoom in because like this downward trend right here is concerning. I would say that it may go down a little bit further.
Ah,
And because we can see go ad free. I don't want to go ad free. I just want to be left alone. Here we go. So this is that downward trend where the highs are getting lower.
uh-huh.
And then, of course, the lows are also getting lower. Now, zooming in, this is the daily chart. So this has been downtrending since December. So in this downtrend, it will likely, you can see it's gone up, hit that top side, come down, bounced off. This was a heavy test. That was that same day where it just went down and then right back up again. But it continued to come down, and it only went, basically the market went sideways until it popped the top of that downward trend. And then it's been sinking quickly ever since. So I'm going to zoom in and we're going to look at what's happened over the last little while, see if we can't find any kind of resistance. One thing to consider is that this here may be where we are now finding support on this price action. Let's go back again to the daily real quickly, because here this was a low price for sure, and we've gone lower, but we seem to be hanging out around this area. And if we go back in time, we can see that that area was pretty significant in the past as well. Lots of price action around there. So this is a pivot point. It'll be a pivotal moment for optimism, actually, if it can continue to come up from this low right here. If it can continue to climb up, we'll probably see it bump up against the top end of this trend line again before coming back down, and maybe to test this low one more time before breaking out and coming back up. I know, it's called optimism. I'm optimistic that we are at a low within cryptos. We might not be. And if you're trading, for those of you that are watching, Nicola is a private client, and so she already knows how the deal goes. But if you're watching this now and you're saying, oh, I'm going to go buy because Paul said so, I just want to let you know that you could very well lose, okay? I have lost a lot of money doing this, and I've made a lot of money doing this. You just win more often than you lose, and you'll be fine. And of course, you use proper risk management and all that kind of thing. But this is cryptos, and this is even more volatile than what I was trading in Forex. So don't take anything I say as truth. I'm just analyzing from a technical analyst, an analyst stance. And we can see that this 2-hour trend here, as it came down fairly sharply, this was just yesterday. Wednesday. Wednesday, the price action kept on going sideways, and it was not held back by that resistance from that 2-hour line. So we're actually on the flip side of that. You can even see the price came and tested the top side. It was underneath, getting pressure from above, and the price shot up above, and then it used that line as support for this latest move. And this right here is why I'm not buying or selling right now, because I don't know if we're going to come back down and test this again and then I can buy here, or if we're going to be going up to here before we come down. So if we're coming up to here, this is where I might make a position to make some money on the short side because we're still in a downward trend from a technical analysis standpoint. My opinion, strictly opinion, is that this may be a reversal. And I'll get confirmation of that probably on the daily chart. When we come back to this one, on the daily chart, I want to see this oscillator, oopsies. I want to see this oscillator start to challenge the middle line of this graph here. This graph here measures the volume and the momentum of the market. So here I would like to see this rise up a little bit more and see if we can't get the price action to get above this. If we can get it above there, then like if we can land a good day or two of price action above the trend line, that will be very nice. So either this needs to improve, we need to see more volume, which would be green. You can see this orange cloud there, that's when it's bearish volume. This little green here sliver, it's just barely started. And so we need to see a little bit more of that, and I want to see this line come up a little bit further. We got confirmation, so that's great, and or this price to get up above. If it closes above here and we can retest this line, then I'm going to say, yeah, we're reversing. This is potential because on that 2-hour chart, we definitely have had a lot of time above that 2-hour trend line. But we always have to remember the longer time frames, they govern the trends of the inner time frames. So we don't want to catch ourselves in a situation where, yay, we're reversing. Wait a second, we got the daily chart still possibly giving us some denial, right? So I want to see the daily chart get up above here before I say, yes, we are going up. My bias says that we are at a very low price right now. And that because, I mean, think about it. It hasn't been this low since... It has not been this low since December of 2022.
Oh, wow.
So that is significant. That there actually tells me that it could very well be this being the biggest support for this price, and we take off. Now, there's also a crisis happening. Stock market's crashing. Look what happened. This is the Dow Jones, the dollar index. There are tons of things that feed off of this to measure the economy. And after hitting up this all-time high back in November, we came down here, and this was, some people were like, oh, this is the end. No, it just found support, and it went up and re-challenged that all-time high. And this is when I was like, hey, guys, we got some energy build up this time, right? There's our wedge. And I said, we got some energy build up, guys. When the energy builds up, it's either going to break out hard up or down, and probably the distance of the opening of the wedge. That's the general rule. That's kind of my rule of thumb, so to speak. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. This here is 2.79% drop, and that occurred, that occurred in a very short period of time. That all occurred within 2 days and 20 hours. A 2.7% drop in the Dow Jones, that's pretty significant. Again, happens here, breaks out, goes down 2.5%. And ever since then, it has had nothing but a hard time getting up. And now, this low, zoom out, this low is now challenging August highs. and it's not looking so hot. So one needs to take into consideration the very real likelihood that we're going to see an event, and I think it's going to be war. But that's because I just know, like, the states are like that, right? Like they're not kind, right? When things get bad for them economically, they go to war and things get better for a while. And it's been a while since they've had a war against something. And I believe it'll be against AI, and it'll create a bubble, an arms race, and it's going to drive the economy for the rest of this year. But that's kind of going out on the high octane speculation there.
When you said a war against AI, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's going to be
You mean China and the United States AI?
Yeah, it's going to be the nations that are going to go to war to find who's got the best AI, because of course it's going to be a cyber attack. Right? That's why there's going to be a cyber attack at some point, whether it's at the start of the war or if we got to go to war to prevent it, I don't know. But there's going to be a cyber attack, and that cyber attack is going to make it where we all have to sign up for a digital ID so that we're safe. Yeah. I can't wait.
Oh dear. Well, I ain't ready for it, but okay.
Hey, Audrey.
Hi, Audrey.
Oh, you're muted.
I just
How are things?
made it.
You made it.
I
You look
this time
tired.
is just I'm having a hard time with this time.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is a totally different rhythm from going first thing in the morning, isn't it?
Because I'm
Yeah.
already in doing other stuff, and then
Yeah.
you get here, and it's even going to get worse in the summer because I'm going to be outside doing stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll just have
Yes.
to have you on my computer or on my phone. I mean,
Right.
and deal with it later.
And deal with it later.
Yeah.
Things are going well though.
I know. He wanted to talk to me this morning again,
Oh,
but I'm gonna leave him hang over the weekend.
Oh yeah. Good idea. I'm just looking at our KuCoin positions. Oh, we're pretty much done, yeah. Market analysis is closing. Everything is going now to the private session. So those who are private members are more than welcome to continue. For those of you who are joining live on social media, I invite you to connect with me. From there, it's going to be a lot easier for you to see what kind of opportunities are available to you as we are pioneering this fourth industrial revolution. So I encourage you, if you would like to connect with me, just go ahead and go to that website. You can join our Telegram, follow me on YouTube there, on the social media, and then also if you wanted to book an appointment, you can book my time there and we'll talk about what opportunities are available. Have a good day.